Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Pirate Parents Live. My name is Carter Fenwick. I am the Associate Director of Parent and Family Programs here at ECU, and with me today is John Mounts, the Director of Student Engagement, which is very fitting because we were talking about student engagement and why it is very important for students coming into school, whether it's, their sophomore, junior, senior year, or specifically as their freshman year, why it is important for them to get engaged on campus. So if you're tuning into the live version of this video, you can put your questions into the chat. We have some colleagues who will be monitoring that, and we'll be able to get you an answer. If you're watching the pre-recorded version of this video, you can still put your questions into the chat on Facebook. My office gets that notification and we'll be able to answer your questions that you have. So we'll just go ahead and jump right in. So John, can you share with our family members tuning in how students can get connected at ECU?
It's a great question. And really, one of the best things for students to be successful in college is to get connected. We know that. There's tons of research in higher education that the student who feels like they have built a connection to the people and the place will be more successful academically, more likely to stay enrolled, more likely to graduate, which is why we have an entire office dedicated to this. So there are a number of things right off the bat in August when a student arrives. So whether they're a incoming first-year student, like you mentioned, brand new to Greenville, or they're a transfer student, or even if they're a returner who didn't necessarily get heavily involved, we strongly recommend finding that niche, finding that group of people, whether that's a student organization or whether it's just attending one of the many, many events that are sponsored by our office, by other offices, and by our over 400 student organizations on campus. That's really the starting point for getting connected to everyone.
Super important, like you said. So what is the first thing that incoming students should do when they get here?
Sure, absolutely. Well, as you're, unpacking your residence hall or your apartment, right out of the gate, we have a slate of events that start that Thursday, August 19th, that really give you an opportunity to get out and meet people and get out and connect. So Thursday, the 19th in the evening, our student activities board will have a movie on the lawn at the student center. Bring a blanket, bring a chair, hang out outside. Hopefully it'll be cooled off in the evening. It'll be a nice evening. But again, it's just an opportunity to gather and start to connect with people. Friday, the 19th, is the annual Raid the Rec event. So if you're interested in checking out our campus recreation center, the Aiken Recreation Center, and seeing all the things they have to offer, there will be games and prizes and food, the opportunity to get on the rock wall, lots of different places there. We always have several thousand students show up for Raid the Rec. That Saturday night is our annual Pirate Palooza, which really is an outdoor carnival. It'll be on the lawn at the main campus student center. So entertainment and games and carnival rides from 6 to 9. Last year, I believe we had well over 6,000 people attend that event.
It was busy.
It was very busy inside and outside the student center, and we're anxious to see that again. On Sunday, the 21st, students can go to Minges Coliseum at 4 o'clock. That is the official welcome from the chancellor to the university, known as Convocation. It's held in Minges Coliseum. And then there's a group picture. We actually take an incoming class picture on the field at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. And then bus transportation is provided from various locations in the residence halls to and from the Convocation event. And then our final major event for that slate is called Greek Fest. It's an opportunity for students to check out our campus fraternities and sororities. That's Monday on the first day of classes from 1 to 4 out on the main student center lawn. And so all of that combined is what we refer to as the Pirate Experience. Some places will call it a welcome week or weeks of welcome, things like that. We refer to it as the Pirate Experience. And so all of those things together are designed to be entry points. Stop by, get a slice of pizza, get a free t-shirt, talk to some students, find people that you want to hang out with.
Yep, get out of your room.
Get out of your room.
Don't stay in there. Meet people, like you said, is very, very important.
Absolutely. The thing we always tell, and we always have some conversations with parents and students in there, or parents who, my student is just struggling to find anything to do, whatever. And what we encourage them to do is coach them a little bit. Say it's okay. It's okay that you don't know anyone. Grab your roommate, grab somebody on the floor, and just go. There's no pressure. I like to say when you go to check out an event or a student organization and you grab a piece of pizza, nobody's going to get upset if you don't come back to their next organization event.
Right.
You're not committing to them. You're just grabbing a slice of pizza.
Just checking it out.
You're just checking it out.
Yeah, and definitely, especially for the Pirate Experience events, the residence advisors, so your students' RAs, will most likely be knocking on everyone's door saying, hey, Pirate Palooza is going on. I'm walking down there. I'm bringing some students from the hall. And so that's also a wonderful opportunity to, walk down to that event with your, hall mates, meet them, talk to them. Everyone's in the same boat. And
that is
excited.
The key. Everybody's in the same boat as they're coming here. And sometimes students will feel like, oh, it seems like everybody else already knows someone. They really don't. In most cases, they've met them about 5 or 10 minutes ago.
Right.
So it's not like they go way back. And really, this is common on college campuses. So again, for parents out there, for family members, just, keep encouraging them to go out and check out things, because again, that is going to help set the stage for your student to be successful.
Yep, long-term while at
Long-term.
ECU. So great. So we've covered those Pirate Experience opening weekend events. So if a student wants to get connected with a specific student organization or student group, how can they go about doing that?
So there's a number of different ways that students can connect. And again, I mentioned earlier, we have over 400 different types of student organizations, from fraternities and sororities to club sports teams to pre-professional organizations. And our recommendation to students in terms of involvement, and we do like to point this out, it's a little different than high school. And we often say in high school, students are involved in a lot of things. They may be involved in 8 or 9 or 10 different organizations, but at a limited depth. And one of the things we talk about in college is to scale that back, and instead of having joining 8 or 10 different clubs, join 1 or 2, maybe 3, but get more involved. It's the depth of involvement that really is where students learn new skills and get connected to campus. So our recommendation is try something new. Try something that you've already done that maybe you like. And then the third is try something that's just purely for fun. And those 3 things, I think, in helping students will find kind of their niche. And again, our office is the hub, both physically and virtually, for all of those organizations.
So we'll keep talking about student organizations. You mentioned fraternities and sororities. We always get a lot of questions about that. So how can students join a fraternity or sorority if they're interested in that?
So I mentioned earlier this event during Pirate Experience called Creek Fest, and that's a new event for us this year. It's really an opportunity for students to come and connect with the members of the fraternity and sorority community and the 37 organizations that we currently have on campus. And we will be adding 3 more organizations this year. But they can start there, and very informal, very casual. Just go up, talk to them, have conversations, learn a little bit more about what they're like. And then depending on whether they're looking for a sorority or fraternity or which type of organization, there are some different processes that come up relatively quickly. Our Panhellenic sororities run their fall formal recruitment August 24th to the 30th. And students can connect with those chapters at ecupanhellenic.com. And there is a registration, so you have to register in advance to participate in that process. Same with our IFC fraternities who conduct recruitment. Their recruitment is later in September, the 12th through the 16th. You also have to register online to participate in that process. And the processes are where you actually get to meet and learn about the organizations and meet more of their members. So oftentimes students will say, well, I'm not sure I want to do this, so they don't even take the first step. And so for us, we're saying the first step is participate in the process. You don't have to join if you don't want to. For our NPHC, our National Panhellenic Council, or what we call the Divine Nine organizations, they have a Meet the Greeks event on September 18th. And our Multicultural Greek Council has an invitational on September 12th. A great starting point for any of that is our department website, studentengagement.ecu.edu, is really a space where you can explore the different groups we have on campus, and then figure out, okay, which process do I want to register for? Sure.
Okay, so we've talked about fraternities and sororities, which again, we get a lot of questions about. But like you said, there are over 400 student organizations. So there are a lot of other organizations that students can join, even if they're not interested in fraternities or sororities. So how can they go about finding those organizations and then also, getting connected with them?
Sure, absolutely. Good. So 2 primary ways you can do that. We have an additional online presence called Engage, and the website for that is engage.ecu.edu, which is essentially a platform that all of our student organizations are represented on. They have a little quote unquote web page. You can search the organization by the type of group, and there's a function in there where if you decide you're looking, say, for a pre-professional group, maybe you are in the pre-nursing program, and you want to find a student organization related to that, you would go into Engage, search nursing, come up with all the groups that keyword comes up with. You could select one, and then there's a way to message their current organization leadership and reach out to them and say, hey, when's your first meeting? Can I come? What does it take to join? The other option, and this one's really easy, is go to class on August 31st, because we have our annual Get a Clue Student Organization Festival on the mall. We will have close to 200 tables out there, populated by student organizations, populated by some of our community partners where our students do community service. So literally, you can go to class and trip over all of these opportunities. That's a great opportunity. Again, we're always hoping for good weather that day. But again, that's a great space. And again, if you walk up to a table and ask them a question, that doesn't mean you have to join that group. You're just trying to get some information.
Yep, and sometimes they have icy pops for you.
Sometimes they have
candy.
There's lots of there'll be and there's a lot of free things out there. There will be if you need some plastic cups for your room, if you need some stress balls, you need some stickers for your laptops. All of those things will be given away and more at the various tables at Get a Clue. Yep.
So as we wrap up our conversation, what are some pieces of advice that you have that you can give to our parents and family members for either for them or for them to share with their student about getting connected on campus?
Sure. I talk to parents quite a bit, particularly during summer orientation, and I will always have some who will say, I'm concerned about my student doing well in the classroom, so I just want them to go to class in their first semester. I don't want them to get involved in anything. And really, we know from our experience that's really not the best advice. Now we know you know your student, and you know if they need to spend more time or less time academically. But there's a direct connection between a student getting involved in something on campus so that they feel like they've made a good decision to be here at ECU and doing well in the classroom. So first thing off the bat, make sure you're encouraging them to get out and get connected with people, because that's going to play a major factor in that student staying here at ECU and doing well. So that's step number one. Second, sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, our students feel like, wow, everybody here already knows each other. Or they already have a friend group that came from high school or whatever. It really doesn't take very long to develop a new friend group here. It just takes a few first steps. And by first steps, literally walk out the door of your residence hall. The resident advisors can be great resources in helping students connect to other things. Going on Engage and finding those first meetings or first opportunities or attending events. And again, when a student makes a first connection with a student organization or a club and says and goes to a meeting, they don't have to stay in that organization. I say that all the time. If you go to a meeting and you don't like it, don't come back.
Yeah, you can leave.
You can leave and find something else. That's why we have over 400 of these opportunities. And then lastly, if a student can't find the student club that they'd like, it takes 9 other students to start a new student organization. And we always have 20 to 30 new student organizations created each year. So there's an opportunity to do something. So I think, again, it's that just coaching your student and encouraging them to get out, put themselves out there a little bit, and meet people is really the key.
Yep, it is so, so important. So I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm glad we're sharing it for our families, because they will, tell their student, get out of your room, go meet people. So this is a great way to get those students connected without having to tell them directly, because they probably won't listen to us. So that's all right. So we have covered a lot of really great information today. Parents and families who are tuning in, you can share this information with your student. You can send them to the Pirate Experience website, which is thepirateexperience.ecu.edu. You can also send them to Engage, which is engage.ecu.edu. We try to keep it very straightforward. But also for you all, we will be sharing a lot of this information on the ECU Parent and Family Portal. So if you're on there, you should see some of this information. And if you're not, you can join and get connected to this information as well. So if you have any questions, John mentioned that he talks to parents and families, so you can reach out to his office, which is Student Engagement. You can go to their website, studentengagement.ecu.edu, go to their staff directory and either talk to John or one of his colleagues, or you can just call their office at 252-328-4235. I got that right?
Yes, you did.
Good. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us as well. But we are very, very, very excited to have your students on campus. This is, I know, my favorite time of year. And so we're very excited to have your students here, and we can't wait to see them get connected.
Yep, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yep, awesome. So thank you for joining us today.